Hello everybody. So today I'm going to be taking you through the use of a free and open source web app that is called MemoRekall. So MemoRekall is essentially an online video annotation tool which allows you to take a video and link to it other digital artifacts such as photos, audio scores, documents, web pages, all that kind of stuff. And so the arranging of these documents creates a capsule, which can be then shared and embedded into another web page. So it's a great tool for many uses, for education, for analysis, for research, for theatre companies that might want to explain some of their pieces, for museums that might want to explain pieces. It's got a very wide user base, and it's very simple to use. But today I'll be taking you through most of its functionalities using a concrete kind of example case study. We're going to be using it to analyze a piece of music, a performance in this case, by an artist called Rodrigo Constanzo. So let's get straight into it. So any MemoRekall project starts with a video. So this video can be on either YouTube or Vimeo. So in our case, it's going to be on YouTube. So we first need to start by going to YouTube, of course. And we're going to search for our video. So this performance is called Kaizo Snare. And here it is right here. And there we are. So this is Rodrigo Constanzo performing his piece Kaizo Snare, which was at HCMF 2019, I think. So the Huddersfield Contemporary Music Festival. And so it's about a 10-minute piece, and it's not immediately obvious to somebody watching the video exactly what's going on here. So we can see some drums. We can see lots of wires. We can see some objects here. But yeah, it's a performance that could do with some explaining. And so this is where MemoRekall is going to come in. We're going to be able to take this video and augment it with documents and annotations, which are going to explain what's going on. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the video. So to do that, we're going to need the link. So we're going to click on share and copy the link. So it's always best to copy the link that's given by the website rather than copying from the bar up here, because sometimes this gets like time codes logged onto it and stuff. So always better to do it like that. So now that we have our link, we can go to the MemoRekall website, so memorekall.com, and we're going to log in. So I already have an account. If you don't have one, it's very quick to make, and it takes a few moments, and it's completely free, of course. So when I log in, so we're taken to the My Capsules page, which at the moment is empty. I don't have any capsules, but I'm going to create my one. So we're going to click on Create a Capsule here. We're going to call it Kaizo Snare. And we're going to give the link to the video. So hit Create a Capsule. And there it is. So it's now in my list of capsules. And before we do anything, we can see that there's a number of things we can do here. So we can edit the link to the video. We can edit permissions. So people who are allowed to view and edit it. We can preview it. So this is if you were to share the capsule with someone or embed it into a web page, that's how the capsule would look then. We can also create groups of capsules. So if we have different, if we have more capsules, we can create groupings of them. We can duplicate it, delete all that kind of stuff. But we're going to get straight into editing this capsule. So we're going to hit Edit Capsule. And so after a few moments, here we are. So this is the main workspace for editing your capsule. Get rid of that because we don't need it now. So as you can see in the middle, most of the space is taken up by the primary video, which is what we're commenting and annotating. So if I hit play here, so I'll just turn that down for my ears. So we see that video is playing, of course. And as you can expect, we've got a video timeline here down the bottom, which we can use to navigate and scrub through the video. Just get rid of that, sorry. Up. So there you are. At the moment on the right here, we don't have anything, but that will soon get populated, as you shall see. On the left here, so we can go back to My Capsules page. Again, we can preview it. That's what I'm talking about a second ago. Settings. So this is the project Kaizo Snare, which we can edit, and we can add some other metadata. So project author is going to be me. Email address. Put that in. If you want to send me an email, go ahead. And project credits, well, we can add me again. Might as well add Rodrigo Constanzo, and why not the Flucone project as well, which is the project that allowed for this performance to occur. And so again, we've got options for sharing here, so that's the link to share. We've got the embed link, and we can also download the XML file if you want to kind of do some, you want to get the raw data to do some personalized parsing and things like that. So that's the settings, and then here, so we've got the video speed. So at the moment it's normal. We can slow things down, put it to 0.25. Sounding very interesting, or bump it up to twice speed. Which also isn't without charm, but I think we'll keep things at normal for the moment. And the most important button on this menu here is the plus button here, which is going to open up different ways of adding annotations, or different types of annotations that we can add. So at the moment there is actually an annotation in here because we're going to be able to see the annotations along the timeline, and there's actually one that gets created at the very beginning, which is a note annotation, which is this first type of annotation here. And so when the annotation is currently being in the time zone, because annotations are going to be timed, it appears up in this list. If it's to come, we'll see that in a bit. It'll be grayed out, and if it's gone, then it will disappear from this list. But so at the moment it's here and active, so we can click on it here, and so this is the pop-up that comes up that allows us to edit the annotation. So this is what would happen if we added a new annotation from the note annotation as well. This is a basic note annotation. So what we're going to do, we're going to edit this to make it more useful for us. So the first way I'd like to kind of explain this performance is by kind of making things a bit easier for someone who would want to sort of get into it and break it down into different parts. So this is quite it's kind of typical methodology for sort of traditional musicology. We kind of break things down, segment things so that we can better understand what's going on. So we're going to create a first part to the piece, which we're going to call part A. I don't think we need to add an author to this, but what we are going to do is define the time. So you can see there's this is a timeline saying from when to where the annotation is present in the video. So this annotation goes from 0 to 10 seconds. I have gone ahead and pre-identified a time first part that goes from 0 minutes to 3 minutes. So that now we've set the time from 0 to 3. And I should just check that I'm recording. I am recording. Great. So what we're going to do, because just part A isn't particularly useful to someone who is watching, interacting with our capsule, I'm going to add a comment to this note that explains in a bit more detail what's going on. So I've actually gone ahead and pre-written this. I'll just paste it in. So part A is going to be an introduction, 2 long gestures that start in similar fashions. Constando introduces us to the kind of gestural and musical vocabulary that we can expect for the rest of the piece. Great, so we won't add a link because that probably wouldn't make much sense, and the playback rate will just keep us normal. We will give this a tag, so we'll call it a segmentation, which will be useful later on, as we shall see, and that's probably all we're going to need for the moment, so we can get out of that now. And now, so when we play the video from the beginning here, we can see that this message indicating that we're in part A has come up and will stay there for the duration of the annotation. And we can see that we can see our progress advancing through this annotation. So if I scrub through the video, we can see that that's going along. And so the user will be able to click on this and read exactly what's going on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a few more parts. So I've kind of defined that there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different parts in this piece. So I won't make you watch all of that, but I shall quickly add them in now, and I shall get back to you in a second. So here we are back again. So you can see that down on the bottom here we can see the various parts that have been added, so I can click on them and see what's going on. So from part B we've got Constanzo again performing 2 long gestures, this time introducing a new tool, the comb. He ends this section with 3 long drags before launching into central section C. Yeah, I mean, so I won't read all of my musical analysis for you. I will make this capsule available in the description of this video if you're interested in that. But yeah, you get the idea of how just these note annotations can be used to indicate the structure of a piece. Obviously these could be used for many other things, but there you are. Great, so now that we've seen the note annotation, let's have a look at the next one, the link annotation. So as the name indicates, we're going to be able to add a link. So there's a few different links that I thought could be interesting for this. First of all, I thought perhaps we could have a look at Rodrigo Constanzo's website. So if I open this up in a new page, we see that Constanzo has a website where he talks about a lot of things that he does. So whereabouts in the video would it be useful to talk about this link? Well, I think maybe at the very beginning we could introduce the artist by adding a link to his website. So this is the link that we want to add, and so we see that we've got the link here. We can call this annotation the artist, Rodrigo Constanzo. What we can do is we can actually highlight it, and as you can see, this is going to make it bigger in the list of annotations right here. And again, if we add something like a description here, we're going to be able to have things show up in the list. So check out Rodrigo Constanzo's website where he talks about his work. And now you can see that this comes up right here, so people will be able to click on that, and it will be a link that will take them to their website. So we can test that out if we go to the preview here. So this, again, remember, is what the user is going to see. So you see it's very similar to the editing interface, just without the possibility to add annotations, things like that. So if we click on Start Video, you can see that they'll be able to click on this, and obviously, you know, this we don't get all the sort of empty fields, so it looks a lot nicer. They'll be able to click on the link and get led to Rodrigo Constanzo's website. We can add a few more links. So I think probably around the same time we could add a link to a blog post that that Constanzo wrote about the piece. So Kaizo snare blog post. In fact, I didn't add a tag for that first one, so we'll call this documentation. We won't highlight it because we don't want to overpopulate this menu with highlights. So I'll just add that as documentation there. So they'll be able to go straight to this blog post, which I can show you what that looks like here. So Constanzo actually heavily documents his work, which is a great thing for people who would wish to understand and analyze it. So he'll usually, for most of his performances, have quite a comprehensive post on his website about the performance, explaining his process. So I've got a few other links to add, which I shall go ahead and add now, and I'll get back to you once I've done that. So I've just added two more links, actually, at the very end of the piece. So see, the piece comes to a close here. And so we have the ending credits here. And then we have the logo of the Flucoma project, which comes up, which is actually the sort of ERC-funded project that allowed for this piece to exist. So I thought it would be logical to put links towards the Flucoma project at this moment. In fact, I'll do it to the end of the video. That is to the end of the video. Okay, great. So we've got a link to the Flucoma project website, and also a link to a presentation that Constanzo gave in the context of the Flucoma project, where he's talking about the technical.
All you do in your DAW, whatever DAW it is literally.
And we won't watch that ad for that video because MemoRekall is a an open source, non-ad funded project, so we won't be doing that. Let's move on to another type of annotation, which is going to be the clipboard. So what the clipboard's going to allow us to do is it'll have a few uses, but primarily what it's designed to do is let us add annotations from a screenshot of the video. So there's a few different places where I thought this could be useful for this project. So at the very beginning, I thought we could try and explain the setup. So what we're going to do first is we're going to copy apart the screen. So on Mac, this is the very kind of awkward shortcut of Command-Control-Shift-4, which will bring up this kind of crosshair and allow you to select a part of the screen to copy. So that's been copied to the clipboard. And now if we go to clipboard and we paste, there we have it. So we've got our image which gets pasted in. So we validated that. And now we see that it has come up here. So we have our pasted image here, and what I'm going to be doing here is explaining what's on stage. So I'm going to call it setup, and I'm going to highlight it because I think it's probably quite an important annotation for people to see. So explaining the setup on stage, say that. We don't need a link or anything like that, and we won't give it time. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit this image, and so we see this editing pop-up dialog thing comes up, and what we're going to do is we're going to highlight some things. So we're going to highlight, for example, the bass drum and the kick drum, sorry. So up, and you see that we've got a number of different tools that are going to allow us to edit this video, this picture, sorry. So we've got the kick, and we've got the snare, and so you can change various things about the item that we have selected here. So for example, we could change the color of this to make it a bit more visible. Might as well change the color of that as well so that it corresponds. It can also indicate that here, in fact, do it like this, because you shall see in a second. Here we've got various objects. So give that another color as well. Various objects. And we've actually, we can't see it here, but I know that it's there. We have a computer or laptop. And there's actually a few other things which are a bit smaller. So we'll use the kind of freehand drawing tool here. Let's do it, I don't know, in green. And so here, if I use an arrow, yep. So this is actually a crossfader, and as you'll see in a second, that crossfader is actually quite important. And one final thing we can point out is here. Always get the direction of the arrows slightly wrong. Here we have a condenser mic, which is also fairly important. There we go. So we also have a few other tools here. So this is a kind of highlight tool, which you can essentially get that from this, because you can set things like, you do need to use the highlight tool if you want to have a filled in block. I mean, we could highlight that this is Constanzo's head, but I think that's quite obvious. So yeah, quite an intuitive interface. Well, I mean, there's a few other things that I haven't indicated, like this kick trigger. There's a pedal here as well. We won't go into everything. This is just to kind of demonstrate the possibilities. But yeah, so we can save that, and you can see that it's right here. And we can also open the original image as well if you want to see things without the annotations. But now, so if we come out of this, we can see that it's here with also a preview of the image, which is quite good. And we'll make it last until this kind of camera angle finishes, which I happen to know happens at 17, so that happened exactly right. And so time to time we can go into preview to kind of see what the project's going to look like for people who are going to be opening it up. So press play. We click here. We see that people can have a look at the breakdown of the setup. They can see the original image. If they wanted to, they could download the original file, but yeah. So yeah, that's looking good. There were a few other clipboardy moments that I thought could be useful to indicate, so I shall do them off camera, and I shall get back to you once they're done. So I've actually just gone ahead and added one more annotation here, which is I've called various objects, which actually is going to break down some of the objects that we see. So you see that we've got 3 different cones here. We've got a bow that he didn't use. We've got a trowel and some felt pad on the snare surface there. And one final one that I will show you to show you the speed changing capabilities. So at 0.33 or thereabouts, we're actually going to see Constanzo do a mode change. So there we go, you see. So if I just bring that back slightly up. So what we're going to do, in fact, sorry, I'll bring this down for me so that I can control this better. Right, so from there we're going to add another annotation from the clipboard. So we're going to copy, let's just copy this. And so we're going to add clipboard up, validate. Okay, and so this is going to be a mode change. And we're going to make it so playback rate is 0.25. We don't need it to be that long. I think it only goes, I don't know, for about 2 seconds or something. So if we put, I don't know, 37, something like that. And basically what's happening is Constanzo uses a MIDI controller to change the configuration of his software. And this is something that we might miss, if we weren't looking out for it, because it's also just out of shot here, so we can indicate that this is the MIDI controller. We won't highlight it, and so now if we come back a few moments and press play, so we're at normal speed, and you see slowing things down for the mode change. And he was still changing, which is good. And then once the annotation is finished, that goes back to normal speed. And I just realised that I misspelled change there. And so that brings me on to the last type of annotation, which is going to be adding a file. And which is useful right now because so we're talking about his software. Maybe we could link to his software. So it so happens that I have a copy of his Max Patch. So we're going to click on File, and so this is going to bring us up to our file browser, and so I have his Max Patch, which is actually a folder of Max Patches here, but we can zip it up and send it like that. So press open, OK, here it is. And so we can highlight this because this is going to be quite important, I think. So performance software. Download Constanzo's performance software, and try it out yourself. So there we go. So now if we go to preview, you can see what this is going to look like. So you see, we've already got a good number of annotations that are being populated here. People go here and press download file. We see that the file gets downloaded, and you can add a good number of different types of documents in that way. So we could add a few other things. For example, I don't know, I've got a few other files that I could add. So we go, perhaps we could show the crossfader, which is actually quite important because it was something that Constanzo 3D printed. So there we see him using the crossfader, so we can add it here. I've got a photo of some of the development of the crossfader, which is here. So we see that he's kind of measuring for min-maxing, that kind of stuff. DIY crossfader. Maybe we could just explain why we're saying this. Constanzo put a lot of effort into creating his own crossfader with 3D printing. And an Arduino Teensy, I believe it's called. Teensy. And we'll highlight that because it's nice to have some images up like that. So at a moment where we see him using the crossfader, we have this image that comes up here. So yeah, so that's the 4 different kinds of annotations. You can see how we can build up quite a comprehensive and complete vision of the piece in this way. A few things that we haven't seen. So up here you'll see there's the video view, but there's also something that we call Mosaic. And so this is actually going to let us see all of the annotations at the same time, because as I said during the beginning, once an annotation has passed in this view, you no longer see it in this list here. However, here everything is accessible straight away. And not only that, you can also set filters so that you can quickly look through different types of annotations. So if we don't want to see the PNGs, then we can take that off. If we only want to see the PNGs, then we can just do that. If you just want to see the links, then we can just do that. Notes, just like that. And same thing, we can also filter by tag. So these two tags that we created earlier, so segmentations, just my segmentations, and documentations. There you go. And so the Mosaic filter is also going to be available in the preview, which we can have one final look at here. So yeah, people will be able to look and access the Mosaic tab from there as well. So I think that's going to pretty much wrap things up for this video. So again, once we've done that, we're now able to, for example, go to the settings, share it with somebody, copy this code to embed it into our own website. And if we go back to our capsules, then we can create groups, things like that. But yeah, that's basically all you need to know to start creating your capsules. So if you enjoyed this video, then please let us know. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. If you would like to get involved, ask questions, or anything that you would need our help with, then don't hesitate to go to the website, so MemoRekall.com, where you can contact us. And if you'd want to share any projects, capsules that you've been working on, then we would love to see them, and we would love to share them with the MemoRekall community as well. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I shall see you again soon.